Japanese women in their 50s are regularly mistaken for women in their 30s. Not occasionally, consistently. And it is not surgery, it is not expensive serums, and it is not genetics. Researchers who have studied Japanese skin aging have found something that most Western dermatology has either ignored or packaged into a $1,000 product line. It is 7 daily habits, all of them free or nearly free. All of them practiced before most Western women have finished their morning skincare routine. And one of them, habit number 5, is the one that Western women are doing completely backwards every single day without realizing it. By the end of this video, you will have all 7, and you will understand exactly why what Japan does to its skin every morning produces results that the Western skincare industry has spent decades trying to replicate in a bottle. Stay with me because habit 7 is the one nobody talks about, and it has nothing to do with what you put on your face. Before the 7 habits, one thing worth understanding about why Japanese skin ages differently, because the answer is not what most people assume. Japan does not have dramatically better genetics for skin aging. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Dermatological Science compared skin aging markers in Japanese women and Caucasian women of similar ages. The Japanese women showed significantly lower rates of collagen breakdown, reduced inflammatory markers in skin tissue, and measurably slower elastin degradation. The researchers concluded that the differences were attributable to lifestyle and dietary factors, not genetic ones. What that means in practical terms is this: the skin aging most Western women experience as inevitable is not inevitable. It is the predictable result of specific daily habits or the absence of them. 7 habits that Japan built into the texture of ordinary life. 7 habits that most Western women have never been told exist. Habit number 1, and this is the one that Japanese women consider so fundamental that skipping it would feel like leaving the house without washing your hands. Double cleansing, every evening without exception. First an oil-based cleanser, then a water-based one. Here is why this matters at a level most Western skincare skips entirely. SPF, makeup, and the environmental pollutants your skin collects throughout the day are largely oil-soluble. A water-based cleanser, no matter how thorough, cannot fully dissolve them. They remain on the skin surface overnight, oxidizing, clogging pores, and triggering the low-grade chronic inflammation that dermatologists now identify as the primary driver of accelerated skin aging. The first cleanse removes what water cannot touch. The second cleanse addresses the skin itself. 2 steps. The difference in what remains on your skin overnight is not small. Japanese pharmacies stock oil cleansers at every price point. Many Japanese women use camellia oil, the same oil used in Japanese hair care for centuries, as their first cleanse. It dissolves sunscreen completely in under 60 seconds. What comes off on the cotton pad after an oil cleanse, after what you believed was a thorough single cleanse, will change how you think about your evening routine permanently. Habit number 2, the method behind what Japan calls Mochi Skin. Skin so hydrated it has the soft, slightly bouncy quality of the Japanese rice cake it is named after. The Western approach to moisturizing is typically one product applied once. Japan layers hydration in multiple thin applications rather than one heavy one. The mechanism behind this is straightforward. A single thick application of moisturizer sits largely on the surface of the skin. Thin sequential layers, each allowed to absorb slightly before the next is applied, penetrate progressively deeper into the skin barrier. The result is hydration that lives inside the skin rather than sitting on top of it. The Japanese routine typically involves a hydrating toner applied first, sometimes pressed gently into the skin with hands rather than wiped with cotton to minimize friction. Then a lightweight serum, then a moisturizer sealed over the top, each layer thin. Each allowed a moment to settle. Researchers studying transepidermal water loss, the rate at which skin loses hydration to the environment, have found that layered hydration significantly reduces this loss compared to single product application. A skin barrier that retains its own hydration does not develop the fine dehydration lines that most women begin noticing in their 30s. Habit number 3, the one with the most research behind it and the lowest compliance rate in the West. Japanese women apply SPF every single morning. Not on beach days. Not when the forecast says sunny. Every morning, regardless of weather, season, or whether they plan to spend the day indoors. Here is why this is not overcaution. UV radiation penetrates cloud cover. It penetrates glass windows. It is present even on overcast days at levels sufficient to cause cumulative skin damage. Dermatologists studying photoaging, skin aging caused specifically by UV exposure, consistently identify sun damage as responsible for approximately 80% of visible facial aging, not chronological age, not genetics. UV exposure accumulated over decades of daily life. Japan's SPF culture did not emerge from vanity. It emerged from a cultural understanding that prevention applied consistently over years produces outcomes that no amount of corrective treatment can fully replicate. A woman who has applied SPF 30 or higher every morning since her 20s arrives at 50 with a skin surface that simply has not been exposed to the cumulative damage that most Western women's skin has. Every morning, before you leave the house, before you sit beside a window. That is the entire habit. Habit number 4, what Japan puts into the body as skincare. Green tea consumed daily is not a wellness trend in Japan. It is simply what is in the cup, and its effect on skin aging has been studied extensively. EGCG, the primary active compound in green tea, is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory agents identified in dermatological research. Chronic low-grade inflammation is now understood to be the primary biological mechanism behind accelerated skin aging at the cellular level. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that women who consumed green tea daily showed measurably higher skin elasticity and significantly reduced UV-induced damage compared to non-consumers after 12 weeks. The effect was attributed to EGCG's ability to neutralize free radicals before they damage collagen and elastin fibers. Japan also maintains one of the highest per capita consumption rates of collagen-rich foods in the world. Fish skin, bone broth, and fermented soy products are dietary staples, not supplements. These provide the amino acid precursors your body uses to synthesize collagen. By the time collagen is needed topically, the structural degradation is already significant. Japan supplies the building materials from within. And now habit 5, the one I told you about at the beginning. The one Western women are doing completely backwards. Most Western women apply their skincare products as quickly as possible, moving efficiently from step to step. Japan applies each product with a specific technique called pressing, using the palms and fingers to gently press products into the skin rather than rubbing or pulling. Here is what rubbing does to skin over time. It generates friction. Friction on facial skin causes microtrauma to the collagen network. Repeated daily across years and decades, this friction contributes meaningfully to the breakdown of skin structure in exactly the areas where most women first notice aging: around the eyes, along the jaw, across the cheeks. Pressing uses the warmth of your hands to help products absorb while applying zero lateral force to the skin. Japanese women press their toner in with their palms. They press their moisturizer in. They press their SPF in. Every product, every application, with hands rather than rubbing motions. The difference in what your skin experiences over 20 years of morning and evening skincare is significant. Not because of what you are applying, because of how. Habit number 6, the physical protection most Western women skip entirely. Japanese women use UV protective accessories as daily tools rather than occasional additions. Wide-brimmed hats, UV protective gloves for driving, parasols, clothing with built-in sun protection. Not as fashion statements, as the practical completion of the SPF habit. SPF on the skin addresses direct facial exposure. These accessories address the cumulative UV exposure to the neck, chest, hands, and arms that most Western women accumulate without thinking about it across decades. Researchers studying age spots, skin texture irregularities, and skin laxity in the neck and chest area consistently identified this as one of the most visible markers of photoaging in women over 50. Japan treats the face and body as a continuous surface requiring the same level of daily protection. And now, habit 7, the one nobody talks about, the one that has nothing to do with what you put on your face. Chronic elevated cortisol is one of the most reliably documented accelerators of skin aging at the cellular level. Cortisol degrades collagen. It impairs the skin barrier function. It reduces the skin's ability to repair overnight. It increases systemic inflammation, which damages the structural proteins that keep skin firm and smooth. Japan's approach to stress, embedded across the daily habits we have discussed throughout this channel, produces measurably lower chronic cortisol levels than the lifestyles most Western women maintain. The emma, the intentional pause, the seijaku, the morning stillness, the evening ritual that tells the nervous system the day is genuinely finished. These are not only mental health practices, they are skincare. The most expensive serum on the market cannot outperform a nervous system that is not chronically inflamed. Your skin is the largest organ in your body. It reflects the internal environment more honestly than any other surface. 7 habits, double cleansing every evening, layered hydration rather than single application, SPF every morning without exception, green tea and collagen-rich food as daily internal skincare, pressing rather than rubbing every product into the skin, UV protection for the full body, not just the face. and the daily management of cortisol through the small, consistent habits Japan built into the structure of ordinary life. None of this requires a cabinet full of expensive products. It requires a different understanding of what skincare actually is. Not something you apply, something you live. If this changed the way you think about your skin, share it with a woman in your life who has been searching for the answer in a bottle. She may have been holding it all along, just in the wrong place. Take care of yourselves. We will see you in the next one.